electric AEG. I'm so stupid. This is stupid. Hey everyone, I'm Beepo16A, and for this video I'm going to be doing a review on the Double Eagle M4, well it's actually an M38 airsoft gun. So here, I'll show you guys the box first of all. This is the Double Eagle box. It's an M38 model. It's actually RIS TACSPEC electric AEG. So this is an electric gun. This particular package comes with, here I'll show you, I'll take it out of the box. This particular package comes with the AEG, which has a collapsible stock, which is nice, and an AEG BB feeder, since this is it's a low cap magazine, which I'll get more into later. You got a standard flash hider type barrel extension, which really isn't even part of the barrel. It's just extension to put on the barrel, but there's no metal insert or anything. And I broke the law and spray painted it black because there's still this orange part on here. So maybe I shouldn't be saying this on the internet, but I really doubt that anyone's going to come and arrest me for my dangerous airsoft gun barrel painting hobby. And it also comes with the silencer attachment, which isn't a functional silencer at all. It just, again, is a barrel extension. And I also spray painted the end of this black. Both of the ends of these are originally orange. This one is just this tip part here, and on this one it is the entire flash hider. It also comes with this flashlight, which you can mount underneath the barrel of the gun and underneath the heat shielding on the gun. With it has a weaver or a Picatinny rail, and it also has a laser. Unfortunately, both the laser and the flashlight broke on my gun, so it doesn't. They're very cheaply made, so I unfortunately don't have the laser anymore. But it did work, and it was actually a pretty bright laser for how long, for the time that it lasted. So let's get into the gun here for a second. If I bought mine from AirsoftMegastore.com for, it's listed as being $80, which I would not pay $80 for this gun at all, because it's a cheap beginner gun. But if it's your first airsoft gun, and you're willing to spend that much money, I'd say to each their own, and go ahead. But you could certainly get better deals for $80 just by going to like Big Five or a sporting goods store, probably. But it is on Airsoft Megastore has these sales, and they were selling it for $42.95. And I think when I got it, it was actually on sale for cheaper, like $35. But yeah, so this is basically, I'll give you an overview of the specs. It's marketed as shooting from 220 to 240 feet per second, which is at least, it's almost, well actually it's at least twice the FPS of a standard spring pistol. So, and you have to, of course you have to be using the right BBs for that. You have to be using, this gun will take 0.12 gram BBs, because it's a low cap magazine, and what feeds this low cap magazine is a really weak spring down in the bottom. And when I bought this gun, I bought like 0.23 gram BBs accidentally, and it ended up not even feeding up. The spring was too weak to even feed up through the magazine, and I would have to hold the gun with the magazine in like this to shoot it, and just let the gravity feed, because the spring wasn't strong enough to get the BBs up into the receiver and fire them. So it does have different fire settings right here with a typical M4 style selector switch. Let's see if we can get this in focus. So here, now right now it's on safe, and it is functional safety here, so it won't shoot in this position. This is semi-auto, which works, but not as consistently actually as fully auto does, and it's because of the BB feeding problems that I had, and also full auto, which works a little bit better, but it also does drain your battery. Yeah, and maybe actually this isn't a low cap magazine. This is a mid cap magazine. It's 50 rounds, but since I'm used to my Deep Boys AK having like 300 round magazines, I accidentally called it a low cap. But it is 50 rounds, and the way you load this is you take this little magic wand and you put it right here into the BB, the feed nozzle, and basically you get this. There used to be another little gray like plunger thing. You stack the BBs up in here, and it should take about 48, not exactly 50, and then you just force them all down through here into the magazine, and then they stay, and that's how you load it. Everything about this gun though is completely plastic. The outside is ABS plastic, and it actually is durable. It has a nice weight to it, but the certain parts on the gun are weak, like right here where the stock attaches to the end of the gun. Actually, it's not even like physically attached, it's glued on. So I was holding it like this by the stock, and it just completely snapped off after a while, but that was after like using it for a year. So it was actually an easy fix. I just like clamped it down with super glue and it fixed it. But yeah, you do have to be careful, because I'm sure if you held it by the barrel it would break off the threading, and some of the just parts of this aren't very steady because they're ABS plastic and they're not welded together very efficiently in at all the junctures of parts. The total weapon though weighs about 5 pounds, so you know it's not like super light, but it's not as light as an actual M4 either. But it's heavy enough to feel somewhat real in your hands, as much as you can get with plastic. There is a pot metal or like a rock or something weight in the grip, which gives it a lot of weight. And I think there's also some in the hand guard. Airsoft Megastore recommends that you shoot 0.2 gram BBs out of this, but I'd say 0.12s are fine, considering that it doesn't have a very powerful gearbox, which is also completely plastic. All the gears in the gearbox are plastic. It's probably safe to shoot 0.12 gram BBs, not necessarily the really expensive kind, because I wouldn't have a problem if they broke in the gun. It's not like you have expensive equipment to fix, unless you do pay $80 for it, and then, you know, to each their own. But one thing with the 0.12 gram BBs is that they fly everywhere out the end of this thing. It's not accurate at all. I was having problems hitting like a stump from like 10 yards away, because they just like, you shoot it and they're just like woo, 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 spinning and everything. And it does have a hop up, which is functional underneath this. I'm sorry, I don't know all my gun terms for the M4, so this is the, I know it's the ejection port for the shells, but I don't know what this is called. So educate me if you can. If you don't be a douche about it. So yeah, so this is the hop up. You slide it forward for normal fire, so basically turn the hop up off, and backwards for putting the back spin on the BB. And if you didn't know what hop up was, I guess the easiest way to describe it is, normally when the airsoft gun shoots the BB out, the natural rotation of the BB puts backspin on it, so it'll fly and fly upwards after a while. It'll go straight and then go shoo and fly up, and the hop up puts a counter spin onto the BB, which basically negates that and makes it fly more accurately. So that's what the hop up does. Excuse me. Also, oh yeah, also this gun does come with the the standard handle and sight up here. The iron sights come off, and then you just have there's rails all over this gun, and I actually have some I've got these, which are they're Knights armament. They're like military issue guards for your rails on issue M4s. And these rails, although they're plastic, they do work. And I had one of those like bipod popping. It was a foregrip, but it ejected into a bipod, which is also issue. And I put that on here, and it works. So let me get these off for you. But they're pretty fragile, so I wouldn't mess around with them too much. So there are 4 rails on the handguard, and then 1 rail up on top of the receiver. And let me find the red dot sight. Sorry, I couldn't find my red dot sight. I can't find any of my stuff. I have no idea where it went, actually. Yeah, so no idea where it went, but there is a red dot sight, and it's like this big around and like this long, and it fits right on top of there, and it has a really weak laser, and there's like no way to really adjust it. So it's not that great, but it looks cool. So also you can use this as a prop gun because it looks real enough, as long as you're getting any close-ups too, and it kind of functions like one. There's the ejector button there, and then you have the selector switches, so it looks real enough. And then of course if you paint it and like put a silencer on, and you have the red dot sight, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, so I can't find the red dot sight, but let's move on from that. Also, it has a safety in the handguard right here, which is this button. So even if it's off, if it's on auto like it is right now, it won't shoot. The trigger won't even pull unless you're depressing this button in the hand grip, and then the trigger will pull. So when it's on safe, the trigger won't pull, but if you have that down, it still won't pull. So there's like a double safety on this, and you know, it's kind of weird at first. You don't think to like press down on it, but you'll get used to it after a while. And for little kids, if it is a beginner airsoft gun, I'd say why not. It keeps the gun from going off accidentally unless someone's hand is on the grip, which is kind of useful actually. A few other things with this. The magazine is really wobbly, but it stays in there alright. I've never had it fall out on me. I already told you about the 3-point stock, but also it's kind of wobbly too. And I told you how it breaks off here, but the actual stock piece is kind of wobbly, if you can hear it. So like I like to put a lot of weight on it, but sometimes I feel nervous about doing that because I don't want to break my gun. And the charging rod doesn't move at all. It's like completely fixed in there. It's built into the body. And the battery is underneath here, so you pull back on this and then lift up the top of this of the heat shield, and that's where your battery goes. Whoopsies! So your battery's in there, and it's connected. It has one of these big connectors, so not all batteries are compatible here, which is unfortunate, but yeah. And it ships out with a it's a 7.2 volt stick type battery, which really doesn't have a very long life at all, and by now this one's already dead. It won't have a charge for like more than 5 minutes. Same with an AK battery. So if you're planning on like extending the life of your guns, I would really recommend upgrading your battery to one that's compatible, and you have to make sure. And also get a smart charger, because the chargers that they send with these guns don't have any way of telling you that the battery's done charging, and it won't shut off automatically, so you can fry these batteries really easily, which I actually did that on my AK, and now it needs a completely new battery. I'll show you guys the sight picture. That's what the sight picture looks like. Which, oh Jesus, there it is. That's what that looks like. And yeah, so It's fun. It's a fun beginner gun. It's not very accurate at all, like whatsoever, and it also doesn't hit very hard. It won't pierce metal cans. You don't have to worry about it breaking things in your backyard, and it doesn't hurt too much when you get shot with it. So if you get a couple of these for like your little like sons and maybe even your daughters, I'm sure that kids around the block, you could have pretty fun just backyard airsoft fights, as long as things don't get too out of hand. But yeah, so other than that, oh, it also has a fake bayonet logo on it, which is kind of funny, because you're not going to put a bayonet on this. But yeah, so overall, it's an alright value. It's not too expensive, and you get it works, and it's fun for beginners, and that's pretty much all I can say. Don't think about buying this if you're a little bit more into airsoft, or you want a realistic piece, because that's kind of what I did when I bought this, because I didn't want to spend $200 on a full metal gun. So I was like, oh, this one comes with like silencers and red dot sights, so that's cool. So I bought it, but you don't want to be disappointed. So unless this is going to like a really like young beginner airsofter, or someone who just likes to mess around with these things, then I would recommend investing in a better gun. But for the money, I hope I'm not rambling, and get this gun if you just want to kind of play around in the backyard, or you know, just have it's a toy, basically, is all I can say. So if you have any questions about this, or if I forgot to answer anything, or I left some key things out, feel free to tell me in the comments, and I usually get back to people like right away, because I'm on YouTube a lot, and I'll get back to you on that. And any more suggestions for videos, I'd appreciate it. Yeah, and I'm sorry I couldn't figure out the rate of fire of the gun, but I can tell you that it's not that fast, but it's not like super. It's not like zook, 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 zook. It's a little bit faster than that. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, and I'll get back to you. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I hope everyone has a nice day. See ya.